No, you're not imagining things. Don't have to pinch yourself. You are awake. This is a brand new episode of Cupful of Metal. I know it's been a while, and I've been kind of busy. And being that it's 2020, I hope you can forgive me. So I wanted to come and give you a brand new episode. I want to talk about something other than this crazy-ass election we got going on. All the crazy virus spreading that people are doing, even though I don't even want to talk about that. But I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's heavy metal music, okay? 2020 has actually been a year where we've got some pretty good heavy metal music, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about one or two albums that I think suck, and I want to talk about one that I don't understand who in the hell this band really is. So here we go. Let's dive right in. The first album I want to talk about is I Loved You at Your Darkest. It's the latest original material release by Behemoth. Now, I didn't start out as a black metal fan. In fact, it took me a long time to be able to appreciate black metal. So I went and saw Lamb of God and Slayer on Slayer's second to last nationwide tour. And Behemoth was the opening act. And I tell you, I was blown away. I really like Behemoth. My wife, who calls them Bohemoth, she, they were really good. I enjoyed them. Their latest album is I Loved You at Your Darkest. I like it. It's not a huge departure from what they normally do, and what I wanted from Behemoth, I got. So I recommend giving a listen to Behemoth's latest album. It's pretty good. I mean, you're not going to be blown away by anything super special, but it's a good, solid release if you're into black metal. And it's definitely the best thing to come out of Poland in a long time. All right, the next album I want to talk about is Ether. It's an EP put out by Morton. Many of you know that name. It's from Lamb of God. They're my favorite band. They're my tribe. He's the lead guitar player. I love that drop D sound, and that's what you get out of this album by Morton. And he has a lot of guest lead singers. I think even Randy Bly from Lamb of God does one of the tracks on there. I was sitting around one night coloring. Yeah, I color. And I wanted something different. So I put on Morton's EP. It's really good. Again, it's called Ether. You're not going to get any super surprises. You're going to get some good standard drop D, drop tuning guitar playing. It's solid. It's really good. Give it a listen if you want something new, but you want something in that comfort zone of new wave of American heavy metal. It's good stuff. Sepultura is still making music. Even though Max Cavalera left the band has gone on without him. Their lead singer is really good. I like their style. Now, they're not going to blow you away by anything crazy, but they're good, solid metal. They're definitely the best metal act to ever come out of Brazil. Their new album's called Quadra. It came out back in February. It's a good listen. If you want some good solid metal, something along the lines of your standard Sepultura, this will fill that void. Now, it's missing an element due to Max is gone. But it's good stuff. I recommend giving it a try if you like that kind of music. Put it on if you're doing nothing else. All right, this is my favorite album of 2020. I don't care what comes next, what's still to come in this short amount of time we have left in this crazy-ass year. But this is my favorite album. It's Lamb of God's self-titled release. It's a great album. They continued on from Sturm and Drang. I can't express how impressed I am with what they've done on this album. Now, for the outside listener, you might hear it and say it sounds just like Lamb of God. It's kind of like how everyone says that Five Finger Death Punch, their albums sound the same. And who the heck, Disturbed? Oh my God, Disturbed made one album and kept playing it and just kept selling it. I don't know how they did that. But this album is really good. It sounds like Lamb of God. It's a continuation of their style, but they bumped it up a notch. So if you're not a huge fan, it may sound the same as their last album, but it's got some really good stuff. I like it. I think they're at the top of their game. I'm hoping that after COVID clears up that they go on tour again. Now they do have a new drummer. I forget his name, but he's Chris Adler, I think, got in a motorcycle accident and has been off and on with the band. And I didn't realize that when I saw him the second time back in, it was like 2 years ago, they were on tour with Slayer, Anthrax, quite a few other bands, that was their new drummer's first show. So it's pretty awesome that I was in the crowd that day. So give this album a listen. It's really good. It's their self-titled album. I ordered it on LP. I also got a t-shirt with the package. It was a little bit late due to COVID. I don't mind. I can't wait to get home and listen to it. So again, Lamb of God's self-titled album. Give it a listen. So there's a little known band out of Cleveland. Well, some of you may know them, but they're called Mushroomhead, and they've been doing that shock metal longer than Slipknot. I think Slipknot was probably still in diapers back when Mushroomhead started this stuff. So Mushroomhead has been doing this for a while. They've been wearing the masks. They've been playing the heavy stuff. Now their early stuff was a little sketchy, but they have a really good catalog out there, and their latest album is called A Wonderful Life. I recommend giving it a listen. It came out the same day as Lamb of God's album, and this is a band that doesn't get a whole lot of attention. They came to Clarksville when I was stationed at Fort Campbell last time. I wish I would have known, because I would have gone and seen them. They put out some really good stuff. They have some really good music, and I recommend giving them a listen, especially if you have one of those streaming services where it doesn't cost you extra to pay to listen to a whole album. Give this album a good listen. I did. I was very impressed. I really like it. Okay, so Anthrax. Anthrax is the number 4 of the big 4. Now, why they picked Anthrax to be number 4 of the big 4, I don't know. There are other bands that could have been there. Testament, Exodus, numerous other ones. But Anthrax is number 4, and their best album, Persistence of Time, was re-released on 21 August. And that's their best album. I love that album. It's got their best-known hits on there. I recommend, if you've listened to the original one, this one, of course, has been reissued, remastered. I think there's a few extra songs that are put on there. And anytime I get a chance to listen to a band at their peak and they're going to make it sound a little bit better, I usually give it a try. So Anthrax, Persistence of Time, it's a good album. The reissue is not going to surprise you or knock your socks off, but it's like curling up with a good book or an old friend. You know what I mean? Give it a listen. Okay, so the band Code Orange, they used to be called Code Orange Kids, okay? And I listened to them, and they sound very disconnected. I don't care for them. They actually kind of hurts my ears listening to them. Many major artists give them their blessing, like Randy Bly, and who's that crybaby Corey Taylor from Slipknot? He gives them his blessing. Now, I like some Slipknot, and I really love Lamb of God, like I've said many times, but I don't care for Code Orange. And their album Underneath, oh my gosh, I don't know what to make of it, and I don't know why they're gathering a lot of attention. You might like it. I don't care for it. If you want to, give it a listen. I'm not going to put my stamp of approval on it. It's loud, and it's disconnected, and it's kind of rough. That might be right what you're looking for. Green Day. I saw them back when they were on the Insomnia tour. It was a good tour. It was that album with Time of Your Life on it. It had, what the heck did they have? Hitchin' a Ride, I think, was on there. That was a good album, right? It was back in the day. And even when they came out with American Idiot, they were on top of their game. But their latest album, Father of All, I think it's a Father of All? Yeah, Father of All. Sorry, got my notes down here, my little handy-dandy notebook. And they came out with this, and Billy Joe Armstrong said that he was reinventing the rock album or something. He didn't. It sucks. It's garbage. I'm not a fan of it. I know, me sitting here doing a commentary on music, on heavy metal and stuff that hardly like 4 people probably watch, and I'm grateful for the 4 of you. But this album is garbage. I'm not a fan of it at all, and I found it hard to listen to. Now, could I make something better? Probably not. But he sold it as something big, and I went in with high expectations and came away sad. I cried a little bit on the inside, of course. Never going to cry in front of people. But I don't recommend listening to this album. They were supposed to go on tour with Weezer this year, and maybe that's the reason Corona was so bad, just because, nature, the earth decided they didn't need Green Day to go out there and play songs off that album live. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this album. All right, the last one. You've made it this far, might as well listen. So I even feel bad talking about this guy, about Ozzy Osbourne. He's almost untouchable. But he needs to stop as well, because this album sounds just like almost every other Ozzy album in the last 15, 20 years. Now, after Osmosis, Ozzy should have stopped making new stuff and just toured either with the Black Sabbath like he did, or do his own material that he'd done up to that point. But I don't think he needs to keep releasing albums, because the songs off of Ordinary Man, I don't care for. I don't even know who the guitar player is on it. I don't care enough to look or research it. There's always a different one with him. So Zakk Wylde, I appreciate his work, and if he's on this album, well, I don't know who planted this stinker in the toilet, but they need to flush a second time to get rid of it. I love Ozzy, and he's sacred to so many people. My introduction into heavy metal, into the just where I felt like I woke up, was when I listened to Black Sabbath's Greatest Hits, and I love him. But this one, they should have left this one on the mixing board and not issued it out. All right, this is it for the latest episode of Cup Full of Metal. I have to give a shout out to Etchison. He called me up one day when actually I was just leaving from getting the coronavirus test, and he said, "Hey," he said, "where's my issue of Cup Full of Metal?" So here you go. This is for you, Etch. You're one of my 4 devoted viewers, and I appreciate it. I hope that all this finds you all in good health. Hey, and if you have any questions or comments or any suggestions, leave them in the comment box. I definitely will take a look at it. I don't always have a lot of time to do something like this, but I'm glad that I did today. I don't have much else to do overall. So, drop me a line, let me know, send me a Facebook message or anything. I'm more than happy to answer it. Remember to love each other. We don't agree on a lot nowadays, and we're so divided politically and across our culture, but the thing we can do is reach out and give each other a hug. Well, we don't actually have to hug each other. We could do a mental hug or, over Zoom or something. So take care, love each other, and till the next time, keep on headbanging.